Hey there everybody, Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations, continuing on with our optimization tutorial series, this time going a bit into data layers. Now, something that is common, that I've commonly noticed when I'm playing a new video game made with the Unreal Engine is I know when I've moved on to another level or when they've loaded in a new data layer, because they don't optimize and load things in um, at the, I don't want to say at the right frequency, but at the right size. They try to load in too many things at once, um, and or unload too many things at once, and often they both happen in the exact same time. And that's not the most ideal thing to do, as many of you have likely noticed when you've played video games. So we're going to go ahead and go over that. So I'm going to move this window over here because I've got this on my second screen here. And I will make this a bit bigger here. 1.25. There we go. So we have the data layers window. Obviously, if you don't have that, um, we have layers here. I also have levels open, not necessary. Levels don't work in open worlds, I don't think. No, they don't. It is disabled. So you have data layers, and then there's also layers. So Windows. Like I said, I have layers open. The layers tab used to manage which actors in the world belong to which layers. I don't really use that one. Trying to find. There it is. World partition. Data layer outliner. So make sure you have that checked, and that's what will open this data layer. So when you get it open, you'll see nothing. I've got two levels where I went ahead and got this set up um, with a method for loading the levels that technically works, but isn't strictly the best way to do it, but for now works. Um, and I may wind up just showing you that method, and when I do a new method, make a new video. But that's in the next episode. So I haven't decided yet. So when it comes to data layers, obviously if I select on this data layer asset, we need one of those. Cool. First, I want to know where this is at. So data layers in. Good to know. Now let's head back into data layers, and I'm going to right click, create new data layer, data layer, data layer. And if I come down here, I don't even know where it was at. I just found it. So maps, data layers in. Maps, data layers. So I don't need the in. Right click, new folder, Lakeside, Grotto. And then I will name this data layer assets. Oh, Lakeside, Grotto, entrance room. And I'll hit save. So now that I've got this all set up here, nothing happens because I haven't added anything to it. If I open this up, the asset up, full disclosure, I haven't fully messed with this yet. There's also not really much to mess with. Um, Load filters, so if you're doing multiplayer, you may need to set some of this stuff up. Supports actor filters, again, not something I've really played with. I just know that it works for what I need. So there you go with that bit of information. But we need to get these crystals in there. Now, if we drag this over, and you'll see that I've got a data layer right here, but it's not assigned to anything. Well, we've got a couple ways we could that we can generally do it. The easiest way to do it is to make sure that you double click on this, and then anything you add will be thrown into this current data layer. But for those who, like me, want setting things up first, that's not always possible. Now, we have this blueprint selected. If I right click on it, add selected actors to selected data layers. Now watch over on the right where my outliner is. Now it's assigned. And we know it's assigned. Go ahead and hit save. If I hit this eyeball, they're gone. So, just like that easily, we can unload things. And like I said, because we're doing this early, we only need to worry about the small things. Another thing that at this point I would want to have load in now, or at that point, is this room here. Because, you know, we don't necessarily need this room until then, if I decide to do that. So again, it's about how you want to do it. After this episode, I'm going to take time to think about it and decide what I'm going to do. If I have a whole bunch of things that are the same, then optimization, from an optimization standpoint, it might be easier to just turn all of this into one static instance, or packed level instance, sorry, and just load in the whole cave as soon as I get to the cave, and everything in the rooms gets added one at a time. I'll figure that out. But just remember, if you create a new data layer, you already have a whole bunch of stuff, right click on it and add selected. You can also remove selected actors. So there's a lot you can do. It's also important to remember that you can actually have conflicting information, so it's important to remember that. It's also very important to make sure that everything, if I can click on this, has a data layer that isn't going to immediately be in the view of the player. The trickiest part is going to be when you get into a larger location that's heavily populated. The player's definitely going to be at, and there's a lot of possibilities. For my example here, I've got this in here. You can vaguely see the lights right now. That won't be a possibility upon completion, but it's been good for helping us out here. I closed since the last time I made a video. Let's give it a second. So you'll notice that there's no lights coming in through the cracks, and that's because nothing's loaded in. Now, once I take a couple of steps, you will see the lights come on. There you go. Lights came on. Now, what you actually want to happen is when you when you go and select the door, it loads and everything. That would be the most optimized option. And then you can go through and do your thing. You'll see here, if I do this correctly, oh no, it's not going to load now. Upstairs doesn't load until I get to a certain point. There's a box right here. Yeah, right here. That once I hit this, it loads it in. It doesn't load it in, it activates it. So in the next episode, I will walk you through the blueprint that I've created and explain to you what I think would be a better option, and something I'll likely do, not likely, will be doing in a future video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.